more, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Wednesday? Is it Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you all. If this is your first time joining me, my name is Nathaniel Umstead. I am the owner of the Nathaniel Group. And on this YouTube channel, or if you're joining me Facebook Live, every morning, typically between 7 and 7:30, we get started here in regards to going over motivation, real estate, and resume writing tips. So thank you so much for joining us. You are in for a treat. Today is day 10. Day 10, believe it or not, of the Pareto Principle. So today we're wrapping up in regards to the Pareto Principle, which is what I've been talking about, obviously, for the past 10 days. So the Pareto Principle, if you haven't already known, is the rule that suggests that 20% of your activities will account for 80% of your results. So I always have used the time factor. I've used plenty of examples throughout the past 9 days as far as how that correlates with the 20 and 80 and 80 and 20. But what the main thing I just want you to get out is increasing your efforts. And that's pretty much what we're going to be talking about today. So yesterday I had delved into, providing positive feedback to your your coworkers, your peers, and even if you're a student, providing that feedback in a way that it ensures or increases productivity, not only for your team, but also for the work that you're doing as well. For today, I wanted to talk about increasing your output with how your relationship is, not only with your manager, but also your customers as well. And not so much as far as trying to be brown-nosed with your manager, but just simply providing them 20% more of what you're already providing to them on a daily basis. Now, I know you're probably thinking like, well, Dan, I'm already, talking to them, or, they're already irking my nerves. I'm saying in regards to the 20% more of positive output. So if throughout your whole day, it's, back to back to back, or if you're on a production line and such, where it's just back to back to back and continuous, maybe it's something on a mental note that you need to do. You be like, hey, you know what? I actually got a good job. There's going to be days where you hate your job. It's fine, or you're going to come across those hurdles where you're like, I really just don't feel like being here. That's okay. What I'm just saying is that your mentality should be changing in regards to that by 20%. So if you're at 0, where you're like, I got to deal with these folks again. Hey, take 20 seconds out of the day. And this kind of goes back to the visualization as far as trying to get to your goal, or overcoming any hurdle to reach your, final destination, such in life, as far as where you want to be at and where you should be at in life, which is nothing wrong with that. So with the mentality changing, I want you to envision, if you will, saying that, hey, this is great. The fact that I have a job. Hey, you know what? This is great. I have an opportunity to wake up, because there are people out here that are begging. I was at Wawa yesterday, and, the guy didn't seem, I shouldn't say that homeless, because I don't know what his personal situation is going through and such, but I'll say this. The guy didn't seem at a point where it was like the next day he might be gone and done and over with, or he was that down and distressed. Now, just regular guy, just asking for 50 cents. Like, the only thing that he needed was 50 cents. Now, me personally, I'm like, dang, 50 cents will, suffice. 50 cents will be comforting to you. Because I know 50 cents won't be comforting to me. So, it goes more into appreciation, honestly. So the appreciation that you have towards, your manager, or even your peers that you work with, definitely will gain you better results, because instead of you thinking about disagreements or things that may come up that'll bother you at the job, now you're thinking like, hey, you know what? This ain't too bad. This could be a whole lot worse. This could be a much, much worse income. Sorry, I couldn't see for nothing. This could turn into a whole mess. But it's like, hey, you know what? I know this situation is temporary. I know that what I'm going to be doing in life has nothing to do with my current situation. So I'm going to enjoy and bear the fruits that are at hand. So that is pretty much for that portion. And then even with your customers, if you're working in a field or you're an entrepreneur, real estate, and you're dealing with clients, increase that output with your customers by 20%. Do 20% more with them in regards to engagement, or providing them market trends, or providing them input, doing that follow up. For me in the recruiting field, even though I don't need to, and even though it's not mandatory, but taking that extra step and following up and saying, hey, this is where your current status is in your application, or hey, we still have you shortlisted or under consideration. It doesn't bother anything, and if anything, it's just keeping them engaged. So it's something, and I even take my own advice, and that's honestly 95% of the reason why I set up my Instagram page, why I set up the YouTube channel. It's not so much more that I do want to help others, but honestly, I need to help myself first before I can help others. So encouraging others by encouraging myself is where I'm trying to get to, and that's why the focus is helping a million people become millionaires, because it goes back to that same principle, or with the Pareto Principle, as far as putting that output. So I take my own advice seriously, and have gotten greater results from it. For those that are tracking me on Instagram or even Facebook, I had mentioned last time, having a buyer's agent going out to property. So right now I'm up to 3 appointments, actually 2 of which are today, and then I have another one on Monday with a separate buyer, and then I'm working right now with 2 commercial buyers looking to invest in apartment complexes in the Philadelphia area. So that is just following tactics with the Pareto Principle. That's just staying on top, being consistent, and being persistent. So things can happen. You just got to make them happen, and stay on the grind with it. It's not that hard to get out there and get what you need to get done. And if you need assistance in regards to it, you're more than welcome to give me a call, 267-702-3756. So my segue, which I was trying to segue a while back, but my segue into the realtor tip is prior to your seller looking to move out and them having everything completed. Now, I'm not saying that you got to go broke over this. If you ain't got it, you ain't got it. Don't worry about it. But as a realtor, once you do get to that level and you're working with your seller, offer the seller like, hey, I know a great cleaning service. And if you don't know one, there's plenty of them out there. Or you could just go by, again, referral basis. But you can reach out in regards to, the cleaning service, in which you are engaged or letting them know, like, hey, listen, I can't offer somebody, and then send them over there, as a nice post or pre-housewarming gift. So that way, when people do come in, or when people are doing that final walkthrough, hey, everything is immaculate and everything is good to go. What else? Or even prior to them moving into the house, offering it to the buyer. Hey, I do have a referral for a cleaning agency, but I would actually like to pay for it if you don't mind. Boom, and then go for it from there. Nobody's going to turn that down because, hey, you're doing clean on one side, clean on the other. Everybody washes their hands, good to go. And then my resume writing tip of the day, when it comes to the interview questions, a lot of people are like, oh, what should I say? How should I say it? Listen, the first part was getting your resume submitted. The second part is getting the interview. You're almost there. You know that you can do the job. You know that you're capable of doing the job. When you actually get to the interview and you're going to be probably boggled with, oh my gosh, these are a lot of questions I didn't expect it. Prior to the interview, just Google top 10 interview questions and answers. Copy down the answers, Of course, make sure that it pertains to you. So, if you used to work at ABC Ventures, Inc., you don't want to be saying or copying off of the question and answer saying that I worked at Microsoft for 6 years. Wait, that's not right. So make sure that, when it does come to the answers, that you do change it pertaining to your situation. But definitely take the full meat of it and just copy it and then practice in the mirror. Just to let you know, for those looking for a job, us realtors do the same thing when we're practicing our scripts before we go out there, and even when people are trying to do a presentation for work. There's some sort of practice that goes into play prior to them getting it out or drafting up an email as well. So again, my name is Daniel Umstead. I'm the owner of the Nathaniel Group. I want to thank you so much for joining me, and as always, stay blessed, my fellow millionaires.
Fleslet on the beat.